bringing you competition among the finest bowlers in the world. It's the Professional Bowlers Tour. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury, where cars are built better to ride better at the sign of the captain. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the sign, we've got the beer. And by Lift True Wrist Support, another great bowling innovation from King Louis Bowling Apparel, the choice of the pros. From Showboat Lanes in Las Vegas, Nevada, ABC Sports brings you the exciting final rounds of the $77,777.77 Showboat Invitational, another of the tournaments of the Professional Bowling Association's 1973 tour. And now let's meet the 5 tournament leaders who'll be competing for that top prize money in the Showboat Invitational. In the number 5 position, winner of 1 PBA title, bowling first today is Dick Batista from Astoria, Long Island, New York. He will meet the tournament's 4th-ranked bowler, 10 PBA titles, the national championship, Carmen Salvino of Chicago, Illinois. The winner of the first game will challenge the number 3 bowler, the defending champion from Endicott, New York, Gus Lampo. The winner of this match will challenge the number 2 man in the tournament, Barry Asher of Costa Mesa, California. And the winner of that semifinal game will bowl for the first place money against the tournament leader, the 1971 Bowler of the Year, the money leader of 1962, Don Johnson of Akron, Ohio. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to be back in the fun city, Las Vegas, Nevada, where the sky is always blue and the sun shines. There are never any clocks here. And everyone that has come out here to compete, including the tremendous field of professional bowlers, have really enjoyed themselves in this city. And the same is true as we're here on our 3rd stop in a tour of 13 cities across the country of our richest bachelor that we have on any of our telecasts here on ABC, Mr. Billy Whaley. Billy?
Thank you, Chris. Nice to be here in Las Vegas, always. I think the outstanding story today, from a sleeper standpoint, is Dick Batista, because left-handers always have fared well at the Showboat. But in his way, Don Johnson and Barry Asher, the 2 hottest young players probably on the tour ever, back-to-back and week-to-week. Gus Lampo, the defending champion, that's always a big story. But I think the poignant story today is the saga of Carmen Salvino. He hadn't been on TV almost as far back as it was invented. He feels like he's representing the veterans group here today. I know the whole world is pulling for Carmen in his great comeback. Chris?
Billy, you're rolling today. Thank you very much, Billy Whaley. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man to beat this afternoon as you look at the Showboat Invitational City, the Riverboat, and now Carmen Salvino. The man to beat is Don Johnson. We'll be back for the start of the action live and in color on the Professional Bowlers Tour.
How the West Was Won, an unforgettable motion picture with an outstanding cast of stars. The West Was Won.
Tomorrow night at 9, 8 o'clock Central Time.
The Serengeti Plains of Tanzania. It is here that noted animal behaviorist Jane Goodall conducts her in-depth study of the wild dogs of Africa. These playful puppies, only distantly related to domestic dogs, will grow up to be among the most fearsome killers in the animal world. Jane Goodall and the World of Animal Behavior, the Wild Dogs of Africa.
Monday night at 8, 7 o'clock Central Time.
We're again back at the scene of competition here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The first game coming up, the Carmen Salvino and Dick Batista, as we look at the flight board. And as you see, the winner then will face Gus Lampo, on to Barry Asher in the semifinal position, and the tournament leader, Don Johnson. So it's going to be great action. Live in color now is Dick Batista, a tremendous veteran. Although he's won only 1 PBA title, he has made considerable money on the tour.
And he's a powerful man.
So the left-hander, 41 years old, has opened with a booming strike. Well, we have the two senior citizens of the five, Dick Batista at 41, 39-year-old Carmen Salvino, and as we said, 10 PBA titles, including the national championship from Chicago, Illinois. Sets himself. There he goes. Oh, the match is all even after one frame.
Chris, the whole world representing the non-senior citizens group, but nearing that category, Carmen represents that among the old veteran players. I know they've got to be pulling for this guy today. That's not to say I'm picking favorites. That's just to say this is really the big story.
All right, at the moment we're having a re-rack. On the left lane is Carmen Salvino and Dick Batista have opened here in the first game with a strike in the first frame. Salvino, who bowled in his first PBA event in 1959, won a little over $1,000 that year. Today he could win over $11,000 if he can go all the way. A double for Salvino, putting the pressure immediately on Dick Batista in this first game.
I'll tell you one thing, you don't have to worry about the guts and the strength. That man exercises daily, and he's always been strong. That intestinal fortitude has carried him this far through some trying times.
The lefty now. Strike up, second frame. Ooh, it's 7-pin on the right lane.
Chris, as we get a look at this man, I said powerful. He's probably one of the most powerful men in the Pro Bowlers Association. There you see the leverage. You can't really appreciate the strength because the muscles in that man's arm are unbelievable. Long arms like Goose Tatum used to have in basketball.
Or like Sam Snead in golf.
Right.
Okay. So it's a spare, a strike and a spare for Batista, who now trails by 10 pins in the first game from Las Vegas.
You know, and like you said, 41 years old, but he's still young at heart. And he was telling me his son Richard is watching this telecast, and he talked to him last night late. He said, "I'm really pulling for you, Dad." That makes you feel good.
Doesn't it? Third frame, first game. Loves that lane. All right. 2 strikes in the spare for Batista, and now it's Carmen Salvino, who'll get up in the approach, checking the sole of his left shoe. He has the double working. Thus a 10-pin lead. There's Carmen's weekly average here in Las Vegas at the Showboat Lanes, 213.
Chris, there we see a little bit different than holding the ball up in the stands. That's Carmen's unusual new stance.
Oh, but the 10-pin. Carmen's a fierce competitor. He lets you know exactly how he feels with his facial expressions.
Chris, looking back at it again, there you see, he's doing this, he frees himself up at this point. Carmen used to be a cranker, he used to turn the ball a lot. He's setting himself right here for the straight arm delivery, rather than going around it in the big turn. He's now going straight through.
Cross lane for the 10-pin and a spare. Very good. A 9-pin lead, Carmen Salvino here in the first game. Philly, the city of numbers. Dollar signs, $11,111.11 will go to the winner.
And 7777 and on out to the second place, man. They really got it here.
All right, Salvino on the left lane. Back in the groove. Carmen Salvino striking in the fourth frame, having a 9-pin lead. The action will continue live and in color on the Professional Bowlers Tour.
Not everyone is cut out for a career of helping people. That's why State Farm looks for the kind of man who already wants to serve. But before he got to be a State Farm agent, he went through a careful selection process. Hours of study, interviews, work sessions. For every 9 who apply, only 1 makes it and becomes a State Farm agent.
Just like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I did use a dandruff shampoo on Tuesday.
On Thursday, your dandruff's back. Mr. Hall, maybe what you got isn't ordinary dandruff.
Flaking and itching could be early signs of eczema, seborrhea, psoriasis. Try Tegrin medicated shampoo. Tegrin shampoo penetrates to the scalp to loosen and wash away flakes. Medicates the scalp to help control flaking and itching with regular use. Tegrin medicated shampoo in cream or lotion.
You know, that file tells a wonderful story. Great sire. That is Mr. Whaley, Billy's dad. What a gentleman.
Oh, thank you, Chris. He really surprised me. He's retired now, living down in Tucson, and he surprised me from out of the blue, and we really had a nice visit and a reunion.
Okay, now along with the Whaleys, we watched Dick Batista. He's down by 9 pins, shooting in the 4th frame with a strike up. Boy, he'd like to double here. The dinner bucket on the right side.
Dick Batista talked about cranking the ball, Chris. He's gone back to it.
Well, I'm bowling so good again because I went back to my old style of bowling. Cranking the ball a little more is more or less my style. Besides that, I drilled up a brand new ball 2 weeks ago. Just missed the finals last week.
So the voice of the Long Islander from Astoria, Dick Batista, with a spare in the 4th. Coming up next here on ABC is award-winning Wide World of Sports and 3 exciting events today live from Los Angeles. It's the Champions Indoor Track and Field Meet featuring many Olympic medalists. That's right. Plus the Hawaiian Masters Surfing Championship and a preview of the Joe Frazier-George Foreman World Heavyweight Championship from Kingston, Jamaica. That's all on Wide World today. Batista striking.
Chris, we talked again about, like Dick said, he's gone back to cranking. With that big a crank, if you just miss, you get the bucket like he had. But if you come right in and get a little bit of that 5, you just see how it flies out of there. He throws one of the most powerful bowling balls on the tour.
All right, now it's Carmen Salvino. Carmen opened with a double, marked with a spare in the 3rd, has a strike up in the 4th, leading by 9, now stroking, as Frank Esposito says, in the 5th. Didn't quite come up, leaving the 10 pin on the right lane, where you saw him cover a spare a little bit earlier.
You know, I know Carmen really has to be thrilled. While you're seeing him for the first time on TV in a long while, he has been making his comeback very steadily. He's getting a check almost every week and making the finals even. But first time to TV, I know he's charged up.
From Chicago, Illinois, and ABC's color cameras will be there on Tuesday night, 9 Eastern time, for the annual NBA All-Star Game. Bill Russell and I will be there, and we hope you'll join us at 9 Eastern time for this classic event.
Looking forward to seeing you there, Christopher.
All right. Shooting in the 6th. As you see, a spare up. Well, we have the first split of the very first game, live and in color from Las Vegas, Nevada, the Showboat Invitational.
We have it here. Carmen came in light. His ball was sliding, much like you see this line going. He's got to slide it the same way so the 5 will go over and touch the 7. He might do it. Yes, he does!
The sign of a professional, Carmen Salvino, a 5-7. Look
in slow motion. There you'd see it, the ball sliding by on the right, just lightly touching the 5 so that it goes over and gets the 10.
That was perfect.
I mean the 7.
All right. Strike up, 6th frame Batista. Ooh. Leaving the 4 pin on the right lane.
Chris, you're calling them pins better than me.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes a little depth perception from our location back here makes it a little difficult. Or does it mean you're getting older?
I think it's just old, period.
Okay. Batista. Trailing by only 7 pens. This is a very close first match. The winner will go on to face Gus Lampo. The winner of that game then goes against Barry Asher, who finished second last week in Arcadia, California. And the winner of the semifinal game will go into the finals for the big money, where they'll bowl for over $18,000 total against Don Johnson. Kokomo, Don Johnson. 10 pin for Batista. Next week, it'll be the $50,000 Denver Open at the Colorado Bowl. February 3rd, the $50,000 King Louis Open at the King Louis West Lanes. February 10th, the $85,000 Lincoln Mercury Open. February 17th, the $60,000 Fairlanes Open from Baltimore. February 24th, the $90,000 tournament from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Goes to spare in the 7th frame for Batista, as Salvino has an 8-pin lead. We'll be back with the balance of the first match at the Showboat Lanes in just a minute.
It's not easy trying to outsell some pretty well-established European cars. Just over 2 years ago, Capri took on the challenge. With radial tires, 4 on the floor, rack and pinion steering, all standard. Maybe that's why after 2 years, Capri is outselling every European car in America except one. Capri, the first sexy European at a shamefully low price. Imported for Lincoln Mercury.
Okay, I ought to hold 'em for tonight. Let's go get us a beer.
When it's Miller time at the old home place, all the hands come riding in. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. If you've got the time, Miller beer. We've got the beer. Miller beer. If you've got the time.
Here's 6.5 frames. Carmen Salvino has an 8-pin lead on Dick Batista, the two veterans in the very first game here at the Showboat Lanes in Nevada. After a conversion of 5-7 split, Salvino now on the right lane.
Powerful. Chris, he's got a newfound thing, and I'm just going to let Carmen tell you about it.
Tell you, Billy, I'm very happy to be back on TV. It's been a little spell for me, but I'm very grateful to a man named Hank Lard that taught me a mathematical equation. He's an engineer, and he taught me how to bowl by engineering principles and how to release the ball and how to get the proper arm swing. And when I do it right, believe me, I strike all the time. Right now, I've just got to worry today about doing the equation.
Carmen Salvino, strike up in the 7th, shooting in the 8th.
I know he means it from the heart. I wouldn't want to be on that bench with a slide rule, though.
Oh, he got a little break.
He had the right equation there, too, Chris.
Here it is again.
From the beginning. Now, you see him put that leg under him. You see that weight come over there. That means he doesn't get too much lift in the shot, but he's got enough revolutions to get the pins back off the wall.
All right, Batista now, spare up in the 7th, shooting in the 8th, trailing by 18. Almost crossing over, hitting the nose pin, leaving the 4-7.
Now, you see, he's in concentration right now. He came up a little half 7, needed a little more finish. He gave it there. He had the bucket. So he's in an adjustment process on that right lane, and that's a tough thing. He said before he has a little trouble on that right lane here.
Dick Batista. Batista trailing by 20 pins. Meanwhile, warming up to our right, and you hear the sound of the falling pins. Gus Lampo, who's coming on strong in the professional bowler ranks. Packed house watching.
Chris, with that strike, talked earlier about Dick Batista cranking the ball. He cranks it so much, and you can see those revolutions going down there. That's the reason he
We'll cut away just for a minute. He looks like an airplane going to take off here. They call him the Big Bird as he goes through his approach, and there you can see why. But talking again about the track on his ball, it grinds so heavily, he can't use the ball too long because it wears the surface down.
Carmen Salvino trying to move one step ahead, getting into the next game, hopefully, as he takes a 30-pin lead as a result of a three-bagger.
But what can happen in scoring, and why Carmen was so happy there, that with an open, he can lose some pins and count, but it puts him in a position now where even if he opens, Dick Batista has to strike out. If Carmen marks here, he'll be in the 220s, and he would be the automatic winner.
All right. Leaving the 7-pin on that left lane, and the fans always take to Carmen. Gives you a little body movement, little serious and not so serious facial expressions. Right now, it's pretty serious.
Well, he's a pretty good reactor, as we say. When the adrenaline's flowing, he's jumping all around. But I've known this man a long time, Chris, and when you really get to know a guy personally, there's a certain consummate subtlety, you might say, about Carmen. He can really get down from the heart when he has to.
And now, on this very ball, Carmen Salvino can win the first game.
All he has to do is just stay behind the foul line and get 2 pins. Anything more than that, winner.
And he gets 8. So there is your winner, Carmen Salvino from Chicago, Illinois, bowling a 224 as Batista will continue to bowl out. We'll give you the score a little bit later on, but Salvino now goes against Gus Lampo. So it's Salvino. We're happy to move a step closer to the first prize of $11,111.11 as he faces the defending champion Gus Lampo, at whom you're looking from Endicott, New York. The Showboat Invitational will continue in just a moment.
We asked our old friends, the East Side Boys Club, to again collect all the road junk they could find on a 2-mile stretch of road. To help Firestone show you how the 40,000-mile steel radial 500 puts steel between you and the kind of tire trouble that's waiting for you on today's roads. Over this incredible pile of scrap metal and jagged glass, we're going to run the steel radial 500 to show you how Firestone's radial control, plus the strength of 2 brass-plated steel belts, combine to give you a new kind of protection and positive control. To show you a tire that can roll over almost any kind of road junk you're likely to hit and still keep rolling on. Put steel between you and tire trouble with the 40,000-mile steel radial 500, another people tire from Firestone.
Revenge and Extortion on the FBI tomorrow night at 8, 7 o'clock Central Time.
Carmen Salvino from Chicago, Illinois, has won the first game over Dick Batista of Long Island, 224 to 194. So Dick Batista is out, but he has won $3,500, and Salvino now goes against the defending champion, Gus Lampo from Endicott, New York. First look at Gus today. And now Carmen Salvino, 39.
Chris, this is going to be a tough match for Carmen. Gus Lampo is bowling super. He won here last year. He's got great confidence. He's a tough man. He's been out here enough now that he knows how to bowl under pressure. It's a tough match for Carmen.
All right. Had a 224 in the first game. Opened with a double. First stroke. Way to begin. Now Gus Lampo, 10 years younger, 29. Last year, the Showboat title was his first. 2 weeks later, he took honors in the Lincoln Mercury Open in San Jose. Wound up third on the money list, over 40 grand. Ooh, I see what you mean.
Really, Chris, this man made a move the other night. Unbelievable. One of the real formful players, there you see, very deliberate. There you see the knee bend, very strong at the extension point, and the full look at that follow through. That is it. That's premier performance.
Gus Lampo matches even after one frame with strikes. Now trying to double. The 2-5 on the left lane for Gus Lampo. Let's take another look right from the beginning of that shot.
Chris, putting the ball into motion here, he's playing for a little more hook on the left lane. Now, right here, he doesn't get the same leverage in the shot. That means he doesn't get as much lift, so the ball doesn't hook back as much.
But Gus covers the 2-5 for a spare in the second frame, and up is Salvino. With a strike up in the first now, he'll be shooting in the second frame of the second game. If you just joined us, Salvino won the first game over Dick Batista, 224 to 194. Tell him we don't want any. If you were with us in the first game, Carmen had a split in a 5-7.
Chris, there, the ball in swing. Here's the full weight of the shot, and Carmen gets ultimate lift there. You see, now watch this ball. Finish right there, strongly, and go left. There you see it, no deflection whatsoever. 4-9, got to go to the left, slide it over. Oh!
Hey, that's two today. Beautiful.
The picture told the story, but he really put the big hook at the point of release to make it go over there to get that left side of the 4.
Wow. 2 in one day, Billy. But that's what helps make you a great professional.
Well, Chris, the longer you go in your career, the later you get, the less, each time you get there, you think, well, this might be the last shot. I know Carmen, as young as he feels inside, knows that this is really not, but you never know when your last shot at winning might come.
We're having a re-rack here at the Showboat Lanes in Las Vegas, Nevada. Next week, it'll be the Denver Open at the Colorado Bowl in Denver, Colorado. Billy, we'll miss you a couple of weeks because we have the Bing Crosby Pro-Am Golf Tournament next Saturday and Sunday here on ABC, to be followed by the Hawaiian Open a week later. 4-pin on the left lane for Salvino.
Well, Keith will be with us, Keith Jackson, I understand, for a couple of weeks. And, Chris, we'll look forward to seeing you back in New Orleans for the Lincoln Mercury Open.
Oh, yes. And we'll be around most of the rest of the tour.
Okay, Byron.
Yes, Byron, analyze that. First, speaking, of course, having a little fun here, Byron Nelson, our Billy Whaloo of the golf circuit. And Byron will join us all, Bill Fleming, Dave Marr, and Bing Crosby next Saturday and Sunday. Ooh. Gus Lampo, Endicott, New York, with a strike in the third frame, which gives him a 1-pin lead.
Chris, the thing I've noticed about this young man, he's gotten a lot of experience prior to the bowling tour about nerves and emotion. He doesn't seem to beat himself. He lets the other player do it. Now, he may not perform admirably enough to win the match, but very seldom does he beat himself. I've noticed this about him in match play.
Well, this is a time to punt.
Really made me look good, didn't he, Chris?
Yes.
Chris, the left-hand lane here for the right-handed player finishes a little more. Now, there he gets a good finish, and right through the heart. He can't do that here. There have been not many through-the-nose strikes here at the Showboat.
So it's the first open frame of the afternoon, giving Lampo 68 through the fourth. Salvino now has an 11-pin lead. For the second match, coming up on the Professional Bowlers Tour.
On the left, Japan's biggest sumo wrestler. He's here to take on Andy Granatelli's famous screwdriver test. STP oil treatment is slipperier than motor oil alone, so Andy should do better. Have your service station add STP to your oil. It's slipperier than motor oil alone.
When there's work to be done, you can be sure Black & Decker tools are there. From speeding work at the corner garage to speeding the building of brand new cars. From helping to build better homes for our people to helping business and industry build better. Black & Decker makes the work go faster. Black & Decker power tools. Built to stay on the job long after the shine wears off.
This is Salvino leading by 11 pins. Lampo has 68 through the fourth frame as a result of an open. Salvino now bowling the fourth with a spare up. Salvino winning the first game over Dick Batista 224 to 194.
A little more speed that time. After the 4-9, Carmen gave it a little more leverage, a little more swing of the arm, a little more thrust in the release, and the ball just stayed solid in the pocket. Powerful, as you said.
The winner of this game will go against Barry Asher, a young tiger from Costa Mesa, California. For a double. That strike in the fifth frame for Salvino. He now takes a 21-pin lead. And let's see how Gus Lampo comes back. He had an open frame in the fourth, now shooting in the fifth. A 4-pin on the right lane for Lampo.
What a fine shot, Chris. Just a little too much finish. He rolls a powerful ball. And that's been the big secret here. You know, the bowlers that score well always say the lanes are beautiful, and the bowlers that scored poorly say they were a little tough. Now, the guys that did score well didn't have too much hook, but had a lot of power at the finish. On the left-hand side, a little more hook, and a lot of power at the finish.
That's a spare for Lampo in the fifth frame. All this from Las Vegas. Billy, did you have any fun here this week?
Oh, Chris, there's more distractions in Las Vegas than wrecks in a jalopy derby, I think. Jeepers.
Mrs. Gus Lampo. It's a little cotton in the mouth when your husband's bowling and trailing by 21. Boy, I heard Sergio Franchi last night, and I'll tell you, those pipes are something. Gus Lampo with a strike in the sixth frame. Now Salvino. He'll be working with a double up. Shooting in frame number 6.
I would like to have joined you, but I know you'd have led me astray. I locked myself in my room, so I wouldn't have been misled.
Oh, boy. The voice of Billy Whaley. Untruthful voice in that statement. Oh, he gets it! A late drop of the 10-pin for a turkey. 3 in a row. A 31-pin lead by Carmen Salvino, who won the first game. 224 to 194.
What I was leading up to say, partner, the real reason that I locked myself in my room was I was reading that feature story in Sports Illustrated about you and your life and your family done by Jack Olson, and I'm just so proud of you and just so thrilled. It's beautiful. You folks ought to get a copy. Sports Illustrated on Chris Schenkel.
You know, the founder of the PBA, Eddie Elias, when it came out, called me from Akron. His phone bill has to be something because he read it to me with his own editorial comments.
Did he call you collect?
No. Well, my attorney wouldn't do that.
He looks good. He looks good!
A four-bagger, the first of the day for 39-year-old Carmen Salvino. A 41-pin lead. Veteran will be back for the balance of this second match in just a moment.
The pros depend on the Ebonite gyro because they bowl to win.
You know, this balance effect of the gyro really helps when it hits the pins. As a lefty, I play that critical outside line. I need a ball I can trust, so I throw the gyro.
Scramp, I really had the juice on that ball. You see that gyro tear him up?
I get a solid feel with the gyro and consistent high scores.
It'd be difficult to improve on the gyro ball.
My Ebonite gyro gives me more hitting power. I have confidence in the consistency of my Ebonite gyro. My Pro Shop operator recommends the Ebonite gyro for better balance.
The gyro gives us gals the winning edge, too.
Ebonite gyro, precision balanced for the pros and for you. Ebonite also makes a complete line of professional quality rubber and plastic balls, available at your Pro Shop or bowling center. Take a tip from the pros. Get the Ebonite edge. Every frame, every game.
That man, right, Carmen Salvino, was Joe Kelly. He's the president of Showboat, the man that makes all this happen here.
Mm-hmm. Now Gus Lampo with a strike-up shooting in the seventh. He's got to string him. Okay, there's a start with a double now. Gus Lampo. Let's take a look at the top 24 finishers here in the Showboat Invitational, the 14th year.
And a lot of money. The players there you see, as they roll, the money is won to the right. Bill Allen, the defending champion in years back here, former winner. New player, Jeff Valentine from Boston.
Now, Lampo, if he can strike here, he'll have three in a row.
And back in the hunt.
There you have three. Now trailing by 21. Good comeback by Lampo. Salvino has four in a row. Now shooting in the eighth frame.
As you see the names being rolled, we do want to. There's a farmer winner, too, Dave Davis. Also a farmer winner, Ski Ferensky. Big scores here always. He's our statistician today. But Gil Sliker, you saw that name, a new player on the tour. He was the qualifying leader here, shooting a 289 for a high game, but a lot of big scores all the way through.
Five in a row. Carmen Salvino.
Don't give him a chance. When you get him down, stomp on him, Salvino. He came from the tough days of the old Pin Boys, Chicago, down in the basement bowling conditions. He knows how to do it. When you get it going, he's tough. Chris, I'll bet you Buddy Bomar's looking in. He's proud of Carmen because he was a big tutor of this young man.
Buddy helped me way back, too. 6 in a row for Carmen Salvino in the second game here in Nevada. A 41-10 lead again. And now Lampo, who has strung three. Second game. The winner will meet Barry Asher.
Here's the situation, Chris. Gus Lampo can strike out for 238. He needs one here and three in the 10th. That would force Carmen Salvino to mark in the 10th. He's still alive.
Pressure, 31 pins. The four-bagger for Lampo. We got as far as the Winston-Salem tournament, February 24th. March 3rd, the $80,000 Miller High Life Open. March 10th, the $75,000 United States Open from Madison Square Garden. The 17th, the $80,000 Ebonite Open from Imperial Lanes in Toledo. The 24th, the $80,000 Andy Granatelli STP Open, Miami, Florida.
He's still alive, as he said. He needs to strike out. He's got to wire it, as the bowlers say. That means strike out all the way. And he would have 238. Carmen would then need to mark, or he would lose.
Gus Lampo, who, like so many champions, bowled in last year's Firestone Tournament of Champions at Riviera Lanes. He'll do the same this year on March 31st. total prize money of $125,000.
He gave himself a chance, Chris. He gave himself a chance.
Now, the lead has been narrowed to 11. 6 in a row. Both professionals have 6 in a row. Tremendous second game.
Chris, the story could be Carmen making that 4-9 way back in the second frame. You see, it's what you get at the end, but what up front counts just as much.
Oh, but the 7-10 on the left lane for Gus Lampo, who still bowls a 237. Beautiful.
Carmen Salvino needs a mark of some kind. He doesn't need a strike. He needs a spare of some kind, but the best kind of mark is a strike.
He won the first game, 224 to 194. All right, here's that shot.
He rolls it pretty good, Chris.
There's the winner. Count 'em. 7 strikes in a row. And Lampo bowled a 237, but Salvino will be a little better, and of course, the better part being that he is the winner. And Carmen Salvino will go into the semifinals against Barry Asher of Costa Mesa, California. Here at the Showboat Invitational, live and in color, you're watching the Professional Bowlers Tour.
When dinner seems dull and dreary, 'cause the routine's closing in.
Treat your family to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Make dinner time happy again.
Break up that dinner time routine with my finger-licking good chicken. And this month, you can take a bucket break at your Kentucky Fried Chicken store.
America loves what the Colonel cooks. Dinner time, happy time. It's finger-licking good.
Back in '63, a specially equipped Comet set durability records that have yet to be equaled. 100,000 miles at 100 miles an hour at Daytona. Today, there's a new kind of Comet, a smaller, less expensive Comet, but still built test track tough. From the same gauge high-quality steel as our biggest Mercuries, reinforced with sturdy steel beams. It's one tough little car. Mercury Comet, built better to last longer. At the sign of the cat.
While Barry Asher warms up, you see the final score of the second game. Carmen Salvino, stringing them at the end, defeated Gus Lampo, who did the same, 258 to 237. And for Salvino, that goes along with a 224 to 194 first game victory over Dick Batista. So now, it's Barry Asher, who finished second last week on our PBIA stop in Arcadia, California. 26-year-older that's mighty tough. This is the semifinal game. A little practicing going on here, which gives us an opportunity to remind you that NBA basketball continues tomorrow on ABC with regional telecasts. The Golden State Warriors with Rick Barry and Nate Thurman take on the Milwaukee Bucks with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson. Also, the Houston Rockets with Calvin Murphy and Mike Newland host the New York Knicks featuring Dave DeBuscher, Earl of Pearl Monroe, and Walt Frazier. I'll be in Houston. Keith Jackson and Bill Russell will be in Milwaukee. Regional telecasts and a halftime, of course, of both games, an exciting one-on-one competition featuring Spencer Haywood and Bill Bradley. That's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time right here on ABC. Check your local listings for time and station.
And your local listings won't tell you that Carmen has another tough match because Barry Asher bowled 235 and 269 on this pair in the match game play. So he's got another big task.
Salvino opens the third game. All but the 5 for Salvino. His first 2 games, he opened with a strike.
And really, light or high, he has not been out of the pocket in his first 2 games. He's had a couple thin in the pocket and off the wall, one high in the 4-9 split there, and most of the rest solid. He's been right in that 1-3 pocket area.
The the spare, first frame, Carmen Salvino, who hasn't won a PBA title, although he has 10, since 1968. And this is Carmen's first TV appearance since that year, whereas Barry Asher has been on lots. Asher with a strike. He's looking for his 7th PBA title. ...26-year-older that started bowling when he was 8 years old.
And his week's average there you see, 219.
And he comes out of the box with a double. So now Salvino, trailing by 10, shoots in the second frame with a spare up. Salvino, who defeated Dick Batista 224 to 194 in the first game, came back with a 258 in the second to Gus Lampo's 237. Back in the pocket, Carmen Salvino.
Each week we try to give you a little insight to the line condition and the angle that the bowlers are playing. Here, you see the second arrow. They're not using that. They're in between, about the 12th or 13th board right through here. Now, Barry Asher's starting it a little more left than Carmen is because Barry's hooking it a little bit more. They're both trying to hit this point down here. Carmen a little straighter, Barry a little more hook.
For Carmen Salvino here in the third game. That evens up the match. A spare and a double for Salvino. Barry Asher, a double, now shooting in the third frame. All but the 10 on the right lane for Asher. How about a front-back replay of that shot?
Beautiful. One of the great stylists of the game. There you see from the front how he puts it into motion. There you see how it goes back and he puts the leg under him so that the leverage is there. When the ball comes through, you want your weight in balance, and that lets you get the good lift.
Cross lane spare shot by Barry Asher here in the third game. Trailing by 1 pin, and he'll be shooting in the fourth frame. The winner of this match will go against the 1971 Bowler of the Year, the 1972 Top Money winner, Don Johnson, originally from Kokomo, Indiana, now bowling out of Akron, Ohio. So it's Carmen Salvino here in the third game, early stages, that has a 1-pin lead. We'll be back here at the Showboat Lanes in Las Vegas in just a moment.
I'm Nelson Burton Jr., and this is Billy Whaley's Lift True Wrist Support, the great patented bowling invention that does it all. Lift True helps straighten and can keep your wrist from breaking, especially you gals, and that could be worth 10, maybe 20 extra pins a game. So take it from me, you'll give your game a big lift with Lift True. Get it now.
Lift True, another innovation from King Louis Bowling Apparel, the choice of the pros.
Firestone asked the Eastside Boys Club to again collect this incredible pile of junk from today's roads. Over it, we're going to run another People tire from Firestone, a 40,000-mile steel radial 500, to show you how Firestone's radial control, plus the strength of 2 brass-plated steel belts, combine to give you a new kind of protection. Let Firestone put steel between you and tire trouble.
Carmen Salvino, now shooting in the fourth frame, has a 1-pin lead on Barry Asher in the semifinal game of the Showboat Invitational. Double up. The 8-pin.
Little bit of funny hit there, Chris. The ball seemed to react a little funny as it went through the pins. I'm sure if we could see that deflector right.
Carmen Salvino will now try to cover the 8-pin for his spare. All right. Match is even through 4 frames.
Chris, here we'll get a look in slow motion at that last shot where he left the 8. Now, right here, he doesn't seem to get the good lift that he's been having. And at the point of contact, watch, yes, the ball goes way to the right. And that almost was the 8-10.
So now Salvino shooting in the 5th frame.
Now, that one didn't go to the right. That was power.
Strike in the 5th for Salvino. Now Barry Asher, who has a strike up. They made it in the 4th, now the 5th frame. 13 years younger than Salvino. A double for Barry Asher.
Chris, naturally after last week's disappointing loss, we had a chance to talk to Barry.
My biggest thing this week was getting myself back up after losing last week. I knew I was coming here to the Showboat lanes, and I've always done well, and it really helped my mental game, and things just fell into place.
Chris, I know what he means by that. When you lose a tough one like that, he's really dejected, and so you got to pull yourself back together, and that takes a few days.
Wanted that one because he had a double up, but he left the 10-pin on the left lane.
Chris, I think the worst thing that can happen to you in any sport, not just professional bowling, is getting a defeatist attitude. You've got to concentrate and think positive.
A spare for Barry Asher. ABC Sports gives you an outstanding lineup of golf tournaments beginning next weekend with the Bing Crosby National Pro-Am live from the Pebble Beach Golf Links in Pebble Beach, California. We'll be there next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The Bing Crosby Pro-Am next Saturday and Sunday here on ABC. Ooh, Carmen didn't like that.
Now, he's a little unhappy again with his release. In slow motion there, you see style. He puts it, and he gets in position, but you see the arm come across the body. Now, again, the deflection. When it comes across the body like that, you can't get the straight, what we call the uplift. The fingers come out of the ball and don't get as much leverage there, Chris.
All right. Carmen Salvino with the spare. Carmen winning the first 2 games, 224 to 194 over Batista. Second game over Gus Lampo, 258, 237. And incidentally, Dick Batista won 3,500, Gus Lampo 4,000. The loser of this match will get $5,000, but the winner has an opportunity to get $11,000 plus.
And I think we ought to mention, as Gus Lampo left the scene of the lanes, he got a standing ovation and a rousing round of applause from the crowd. They really love him here. He's a great player and a popular favorite.
No, Carmen Salvino has a strike in the 7th frame. Barry Asher has a 9-pin lead. The action will continue here at the Showboat lanes after this message.
America wakes up with Skin Bracer. No matter what the obstacles.
Thanks, I needed that.
Skin Bracer is the morning aftershave. Its skin tightener and chin chillers wake you up like a cold slap in the face. Even if it's your first shave.
Thanks, I needed that.
That's Andy Granatelli, automotive expert and head of STP. You might not expect a guy like Granatelli to worry like everybody else about cold weather starts. But while he's inside burning the midnight oil, out here it's freezing. So Andy uses STP oil treatment. Not because he makes it, but because it gives his engine the extra lubrication it needs to turn over easier all winter long. Have your service station add STP to your oil and get the edge on winter.
You're looking at Barry Asher, leading by 9 pins here in the semifinal game, shooting in the 7th frame. with a spare working. And a split.
Chris, not only that, a very tough one, the 8-10. Now, right from the beginning here, we're going to get a look at Barry and maybe why the 8-10 happened. I don't know if you can see that, but look how quickly and how that ball bounces when it hits the lane. You see it slide a little bit. Now there, like Carmen, the ball deflected, and he wasn't lucky enough to get the pin out.
A disappointing open frame for Barry Asher, Costa Mesa. Instead of leading by 9, he now trails by 4 and will be shooting in the 8th frame. Meanwhile, the tournament leader, Don Johnson, is warming up because the winner of this game will go into the final against the leading money winner of 1972. Barry Asher striking. That's coming back after an open.
Yes, Chris, that's a very good point to make. You can't let the previous frame affect your concentration. You've got to just come back. And Barry really did a good job.
Salvino leading by 4, has a strike up in the 7th. On the right lane, 8th frame.
If he strikes, he can go to 14.
Ooh, a high hit.
Now here we see the style of Salvino, the unusual position at the address where he holds it at his side. Now right here, Carmen's starting to get a little bit of a pull. You see his foot come off balance, and that pulls it way across his body. He's very pleased without a split, and more so to get that 10 out.
Carmen Salvino marking with a spare in the 8th frame. 4-pin lead. Oh, the winner here has a chance to win over 11 if he can defeat Don Johnson in the final. Whereas if you lose, you come out with 5,000.
I'm glad you got a call off that 11,111 and all of that.
Look at this shot.
Watch Barry, watch Carmen, watch the pins. Right.
Ooh, that Ned Steckel and Jim Jeanette and Walt Kubelis and the trucker doing some job.
What a team.
Now Barry Asher, striking the 8th. Now shooting in the 9th. Ooh, gets it. And that gives him the lead. Oh, our 3 games have been tremendous. Instead of trailing by 4, he now leads by 6 as a result of the double.
Chris, now, as we go for the 10th and final frame, let's set it for you. And for those of you who are keeping score at home, too, Barry Asher can get a 235 with 3 strikes here and would close out Carmen. Carmen can get a 229.
There's one. Barry Asher, who had an open frame in the 7th. Seemed like he was out of it, but he is not. He has strung 3.
There you see now. He comes back and gets really good under the shot. Watch the power here. Now, that ball doesn't deflect. And you see the 8-10 go whistling out of there. And, of course, that was a big one because now he knows that Carmen's got to make a couple strikes. Now, if he gets this one, he can close Carmen out. Well, the reaction of Barry Asher pretty well told the story. The thing is, we always say, yes, stay behind the foul line because you get nothing if you foul, no matter what you score on the shot. There's Carmen. That's the toughest seat in the world to lose sitting there, and Carmen now has just got to bowl out.
Barry Asher has, well, he was even, and he went ahead, then he trailed, and now he has strung 4 together to bowl a 235 and win. And that means he's in the final against Don Johnson. Barry Asher gets set now to meet Don Johnson from Akron, Ohio. At stake, the championship and lots of money. We'll be back in a moment.
Sherry Booth returns to TV in A Touch of Grace, premiering tonight.
Negative.
Am I out? Yes.
So in the semifinal game, after winning the first two, Carmen Salvino is defeated. He is eliminated by Barry Asher, who bowled a 235 to Carmen's 205. So it's $5,000 for Carmen Salvino. Standing ovation for Carmen when he left the approaches here on the two lanes where the championship is being staged. So now, Barry Asher goes against Don Johnson, the 1972 money winner, the leader. A head-to-head battle. Leaves the 7-pin in the first frame of the final game here in the Showboat Invitational. The winner, 11,000 plus. The loser, 7,000 plus.
That ain't all bad.
See, that's a little less than you made today.
Thanks a lot, partner. If I had your money, I'd throw mine away.
Ooh, no. So, Barry Asher is marked with a spare in the first frame. Now, Mr. Don Johnson. Oh, how could that happen? It moved 6 inches but didn't fall. Billy.
Chris, Joe Norris, Hall of Fame man, there you're going to see what he called the only tap in the bowling game. Now watch that. The two pins have to come together, and when they come together, the pin just slid about 3 inches on its base, and that's the big tap in the bowling game, the solid 8. But very rarely do you ever see it slide like that.
And now Don will try to remain unflappable. He uses the full approach, too.
He's now going for the 7.5 pin spare.
Oh, boy, knock it down. Match is all even after one frame. This is the final match. Wide World of Sports follows here on ABC.
Now, here's the great release. You see the revolutions on the ball. And when it comes into that pocket, look at that finish. Now, there you see the pins come together, and it just like, you know, maybe 2 punches keeps a guy up sometime.
Don Johnson with a powerful strike on the left lane. So it's Barry Asher now, who has a spare up in the first, shooting in the second frame. This for the title, this match. Still even after 2 frames. On Wide World today, what action. Live from Los Angeles, the Champions Indoor Track and Field meet. Dave Waddle goes against Kip Kano on the mile. In the 2-mile run, you'll see Frank Shorter, Lassie Viren, Steve Prefontaine, and Marty LaQuarrie, who's making his comeback after the injury, which kept him out of the Olympics. Marty did work with us on the Munich Olympic Games. It's going to be a great event, plus the Hawaiian Masters Surfing Championship preview of the Fraser Foreman Heavyweight Championship fight.
Boy, he really wants victory after that very dejected defeat last week at the Don Carter Classic, but he's got a tough hill to climb. This Don Johnson has really got all the moves and all the shots.
You're watching in color. It's sort of a Texas orange, Darrell Royal Longhorn orange that Johnson is wearing.
That's just about 4:30 in the evening.
All even. And Mrs. Don Johnson. Next to Mrs. Don Johnson is one of my favorite golfers, Al Besselink. Here he is, along with Bill Martin. Al is the golf director at the Dunes, and Bill is the tournament director. Oh, I'll tell you, there's a guy that can really swing a club. He's had a 2-disc fusion in his back, so he'll be coming back soon.
It's really been a pleasure seeing him from the old golf tour days.
Now going for a 3-bagger, Johnson. A 4-pin that wasn't tripped.
Chris, we'll see the hit. There you see the finish on the ball, and that strong finish, you see what it does. It sends the pin around the 4. A little straighter finish would make the pin come back at a different angle and would then trip the 4.
Don Johnson marks with a spare here in the final game, and it's Barry Asher that leads the 1. We'll be back with more of the final match between Barry Asher and Don Johnson in just a moment.
We've proved in test after test how smooth our big Mercury Marquis can ride. But how about our smaller Mercury, the personal-size Montego MX Brougham? Karen and Zach Taylor, whose hobby is home movies, will help the Nationwide Consumer Testing Institute evaluate the Montego's ride. While Karen drives through scenic California horse country, Zach will shoot with one movie camera. An identical camera mounted on the axle will film the same scenes. The wheel camera shows how rough the road really is, while Zach's camera gives clear proof how smooth and steady Montego rides. Montego's big car ride is built to Lincoln Mercury's high standards on an extra wide stance and the same type high stability suspension system as our most expensive luxury cars. 73 Mercury Montego, built better to ride better.
Pictures don't lie.
At the sign of the cat.
Our telecast today, originating in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Showboat Lanes. This is the final match. Barry Asher is going against the tournament leader, Don Johnson. Asher leading by 1 as he shoots in the 4th frame. Oh, he's strong.
Chris, after the 8-10 on the right lane for Barry, he's made a slight adjustment, just about one board move with his feet, which makes his directional line a little bit straighter into the target and therefore a little bit straighter into the pocket.
Boy, he's strung 3 now, leading by 11, getting ready to shoot in the 5th. Is looking for his 7th PBA title.
Chris, there we see the player and we'll see the result. But right here, again, the powerful shot of Barry Asher. And you can see it as the ball and the player comes down, so he knew he was going to be right near a strike.
The 1970 Firestone Tournament of Champions winner. In the pocket. Don Johnson, who has 20 PBA championships.
Talk to Don Johnson. He's bowling way different than he did in San Jose.
Yes, 2 weeks ago in San Jose when I led the show, I held the ball to the left in my swing and had my hand underneath the ball. This week, I'm holding my swing to the right with my hand on the side of the ball. This is what makes the tour so interesting. You have to change your game each week.
And Chris, what he means by that, a golfer has different clubs in the bag, shaped different for different types of shots. The bowler has to change the position of the hand, maybe behind the ball, a little more to the side, a little more lift, a little less lift, to get the different types of shots that the player wants.
But like golfers, different courses, different lanes, different conditions.
Right, that's what dictates the changes. If they could stay on one condition all the time, the averages would be higher. That's why the tour is so very, very tough. Different city, travel, different conditions.
There's a big double for Don Johnson of Akron, Ohio.
Chris, a fan who couldn't be with us today is Governor Michael O'Callaghan. The state legislature is still in session, and we just want to thank him for the gracious telegram that he did send. He was with us last year for the telecast, but he did send his emissary, the boxing commissioner, Jim Deskin, who's always a great bowler, and a PBA member who averages over 200.
Well, but Barry Asher is in that pocket again. Goes back to a 21-pin lead as a result of 5 in a row. Billy. Don't forget, on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the NBA All-Star Game. The East, Walt Frazier, Dave Cowens, John Havlicek. The West All-Stars led by Jerry West, Jabbar, and Rick Barry. 9 Eastern here on ABC, the NBA All-Star Game.
He really wants it now, Chris. He seems to be running a little further with each strike, and the sweet smell of victory, you know, is in the wings for Barry.
6 strikes in a row. Now, Don Johnson has a double up, shooting in the 7th frame and trailing by 31.
But lurking in the shadows is the bowler of the year, Don Johnson.
3-bagger. Oh, he loved that jerky.
Now, Don Johnson talked about how he got set for the shot this week. There you see now, his hand's on the side of the ball, you see. At San Jose, he was way underneath and had his wrist bent and twisted the ball, flapped open-wristed. Now he's got a closed wrist. There's the difference, and he's getting a little more lift and around the side of the shot. But the big thing I'd like to come back and point out is that he doesn't change his arm swing. Keep it working freely from the shoulder all the time.
Oh, Don Johnson.
Chris, rarely do you see it. No, we'll see it again. We saw it earlier in the first frame. This is a little bit different. Same solid 8. It doesn't slide this time, but there you see the 2 pins go right around the 8. And unbelievable for Don Johnson. I was going to say, rarely do you see maybe 1 in a tournament, much less in a game, and here he's got 2 in the same game.
So it's a spare for Don Johnson in the 8th frame. Meanwhile, Barry Asher has 6 in a row. Wide World of Sports follows, and one of the 3 features live coverage of the indoor track meet at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. A great one. We'll be going there if we get an opportunity following this game for an update. So the string is stopped at 6. Let's see the hit again.
Well, there's another tap in bowling. I don't care what you say. Watch that pin go right around it. There's that solid ball in 1-3 pocket. You can't do it any better. Little leverage in there, and it sends the pin right around it. Tough break for Barry. But the thing right now is he's got to retain composure and make the spare.
He does. That was a spare in the 8th frame. He's leading by 21. Ooh, there's a lot at stake. A little over 11 if you win, a little over 7,000 if you lose.
Chris, the big thing right now as we go to these final 2 frames, Don Johnson, tournament leader at San Jose, and he lost. Barry Asher, tournament leader, Don Carter Classic, the Arcata, he lost. So one of the 2 of them is going to break the jinx here this week. Can't miss.
Pin on the left lane for Barry Asher.
Now in the 9th frame, he will have a spare up. And he'll be working with an 8 count. Therefore, that means with 6 in a row of approximately a 248 if he could strike and spare in the 10th. Don Johnson could strike out for a 248. So don't go away, folks. We could still have another tie.
Barry Asher. Now Don Johnson is trailing by 20 pins. Don's been on of the 3 telecasts, he's been on twice.
It's just great to see these young players come out, Chris, and blossom like that. And while this man is young, he's already just, he's going to be a legend soon.
A strike in the 9th frame for Don Johnson.
I told him the other night in the locker room, I said, they're already starting to cut the niche in the Hall of Fame for you, brother. He's going in. There ain't no way you can keep that man out.
This is Don Johnson. Pressure's there.
Christie's rolling at a 228. Now, with a strike up, if he can strike here, he's going to start putting some real pressure on Barry. We're going to try and look at this in slow motion, both the player, the hit, and the dejection of Don Johnson. Now, right there, good shot in the clutch. You can't throw it any better. The pin, as Barry Asher had a solid 10, goes right around it, and look at the dejection. You can't do it any better than that. It's not Don Johnson's tournament to win. That's all you can say. The good Lord decides those things.
So, there he is, Barry Asher, $11,111.11. Of course, if he doesn't foul, caught a hot Carmen Salvino, who won the first two games, 224 to 194 over Batista. Salvino over Lampo, 258 to 237. And then comes back to beat Salvino, 235 to 205. And now the tournament leader, Don Johnson, who has bowled more than a respectable 228. Wow.
Right, he just has to stay behind the foul line here, Chris, which he does. And as we go away, we want to pay our tribute to Frank Mirabelli and his staff, but also express our regrets. Frank Mirabelli lost his beautiful and lovely wife, and we must thank him.
Look at that. Look at the ones. And the comma is the right spot. 11,000 plus for Barry Asher, who has another strike here on the right lane. He has defeated the leading winner of last year, Don Johnson, who rolled to 228, and Barry will be in the 250s. Wow. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute to meet the Showboat Invitational champion.
Introducing the Roughnecks. Shaving leaves their necks rough and irritated, but now for the Roughnecks, a special kind of Gillette Foamy. Face Saver, with 25% more lubricants for better protection against shaving irritation. Face Saver looks different, feels different. Feel the way your razor glides over even the most sensitive part of your face, your neck. So if shaving irritates your neck, get Foamy Face Saver for the Roughnecks.
If you think Firestone's new Radial V1 will give you 40,000 miles or more, you're right. If you think it rides rough like some other radials, you're wrong. The Radial V1 will give you a really comfortable ride. Firestone is so sure they'll give you 7 days to test it. If you don't like the way it rides, Firestone will give you your old tires and your money back. The 40,000-mile Radial V1. Another people tire from Firestone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at the Showboat Lanes. We have a winner, man who has won $11,111.11, Barry Asher. But before we get to Barry, here's a $3,500 check for the Astoria Long Island bowler, Dick Batista. Dick, great to have you on the show right here. Dick, comment.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to thank Mr. Marabelli for a wonderful tournament, Showboat Lanes, and everybody, and it just feels great to be back again.
All right. Now let's get Gus Lampo up here from Endicott, New York. And Gus, you're having a tremendous year, and I know you're a little disappointed that you couldn't go all the way today.
Well, Chris, I just got out bowled. I tell you, the guys out here really bowled great today. I think they all feel like I do. Very proud to perform here in Las Vegas for the Showboat people and in front of such beautiful crowds.
How about the girls?
They're beautiful, too.
Oh, okay. Here's a $4,000 check. You peel it off that stack of money. Thanks, Gus.
Thank you, sir.
And now here's everybody's favorite from Chicago, Illinois. Let's hear it for Carmen Salvino. Billy Whaler told me to give you this check in a hurry.
Chris, I want to thank my good friend Hank Lard, the man that taught me the equation. So you people out there, don't forget the equation. Someday we're going to put it in a book. And also, I want to tell you people, too, that this is a great bowling center. They're going to have the women out here, too, for your information. 50,000 women are going to bowl. This place is the bowling show of the world. Believe me when I said it. And one last thing, Chris. I want to say God bless Molly Mirabelli, wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm referring to Frank Mirabelli's late wife. Okay. Yes, he was born in Kokomo, but now bowls out of Akron, Ohio. $7,777.77, Don Johnson.
Thanks, Chris. Pleasure coming to Las Vegas. As far as I'm concerned, it's the greatest tournament in the world other than one, and that's my hometown, Akron, Ohio. So I'd like to congratulate Barry. He bowled great, and what are you going to do? I can't bowl any better than I bowled.
Don, is it really tough where you can only bowl one game?
Well, I was over there practicing. I really had a good stroke, and I really felt like I bowled better than when I shot 299 on TV, but I'm a fatalist, and it just wasn't my turn to win.
Not bad being on television 2 out of 3 weeks, though, pal.
Hey, that's great. You're in that #1 spot. When you lose, you still get this kind of money. I love it.
Don, bowling has been very good to you.
Yes, it has. I started in the junior league program, and it's just unbelievable.
Where?
In Kokomo, Indiana. Yeah, I'll have to put in a plug-in for Kokomo, Indiana. Playbowl Lanes. Mr. Don Lowry taught me how to bowl, and I owe him a great deal.
Okay, good luck, Don. We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Don Johnson. Now, here is the Showboat Invitational champion, Barry Asher. Barry. First of all, 11,111.11.
Well, that's beautiful, Chris. 2 years ago, I was in the same position as Don, and I got all the 7s. He had the ball with all the 7s, and I got the 7s. But this year, it was a little different. I'd like to thank the Showboat Hotel and Lanes for this magnificent tournament. Every year, it's just fantastic. And somewhere up in Hartford, Wisconsin, there's a man looking in right now from a hospital bed. This is my sponsor. He's Carmen Salvino's sponsor. His name's Ollie Jordan. I'd just like to tell him to get well soon, and everything's okay out here.
Barry, you stay right here because we're going to take a little pause and go to the Sport Arena in Los Angeles, California for a preview of the indoor track live on Wide World of Sports as we join our colleague Keith Jackson right now.
Thank you very much, Chris. And I'm sure Barry Asher can replenish that colorful wardrobe of his with all those winnings today. Here this afternoon, live on ABC's Wide World of Sports, we've got some 24 Olympians ready to square off in one of the major indoor meets of the season, the Champions Indoor Track and Field Meet. Let me give you an idea. For example, the 2-mile field. It features Lassie Viren, Frank Shorter, Steve Prefontaine, Marty LaQuarrie, Tracy Smith. That's in the 2-mile. Among the shot putters you'll be watching are Brian Oldfield, Al Feuerbach, George Woods, and the gold medal winner at the Summer Olympic Games in Munich, Germany, Vladislav Komar. He's here to continue his duel with Woods and Feuerbach. And in the long jump, of course, we've got the gold medal winner of USC in America, Randy Williams. So we have Olympians all over the place here at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California this afternoon, and you'll see it next on ABC's Wide World of Sports. That's Randy Williams right there. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Let's go right now back to the Showboat Invitational and Chris Schenkel.
Thank you very much, Keith Jackson. Look forward to Wide World of Sports today. Now, as you watch on the left, the president of the Showboat Lanes, Joe Kelly, has a magnificent trophy with a showboat on top of a standard. Now, Barry, you get the trophy, but you do not get the Queen, Gay Spear.
I was afraid of that, Chris.
You're a bachelor, but go ahead. Gay, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
You did get 2 kisses. Now, Joe, I'd like for you to present that trophy to your champion.
I'd like to present it on behalf of the Showboat and the fine job you did.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure to have you board with us. I will be looking forward to next year the return.
Thank you. That's one of the greatest days of my life. It really is. It's a great day.
And Barry, now you go on to Denver, Colorado, right?
Yes, I do. I'll be there.
And then a week following, you're in Overland Park, Kansas?
Yes, one of the real good tournament there.
I know you're looking forward to the $125,000 Firestone Tournament of Champions.
Well, that's about 10 weeks away. I'm going to just try to take it 1 week at a time. I think that'd be the best thing to do. If I get pumped up for it now, I might go there and who knows what will happen.
Oh, to be 26 again and a champion. Barry Asher, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Yes, our next stop on the Professional Bowlers Tour is Denver, Colorado, and ABC Sports will be bringing you the final rounds of another great PBA tournament, the $50,000 Denver Open. That's 1 week from today. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Rune Arledge. Coverage of the Pro Bowlers Tour is produced by Ned Steckel. Today's program was directed by Jim Jeanette. Associate Director Lou Frederick. Technical Director Walt Kubelis. Our special thanks to the Professional Bowling Association and its Executive Director, Joseph Antonora. Now, this is Chris Schenkel along with Billy Whaley saying so long from Las Vegas and inviting you to stay tuned for ABC's Wide World of Sports, the Champions Indoor Track and Field Meet from Los Angeles, which follows next over most of these stations. Air travel arranged and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines doing business you competition among the finest bowlers in the world. It's the Pro Bowlers Tour. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Firestone, the radial tire people, makers of the Steel Radial 500. And by Monroe Shock Absorbers. If worn shocks make your car sway and roll, and it's like driving at sea, let Monroe put you back on solid ground. And by Ebonite Professional Quality Bowling Products, makers of the famous Gyro Balance Bowling Ball. For the thrill of winning, it's Ebonite.
I left my heart in San Francisco.
The San Francisco Bay Area deserves all the superlatives heaped on it. A magnificent scene, water leading to the Pacific, the Golden Gate and Bay Bridges, truly an area of charm. Today we've crossed the Bay Bridge, headed east some 15 miles to arrive in Alameda, specifically to Mel Bowl, where the world's finest bowlers have been competing for the top prize of $7,000. Brings you the exciting final rounds of the $60,000 ARC Alameda Open. Another great tournament in the Pro Bowlers Association's 1975 tour. And now, let's meet the 5 tournament leaders who will be competing for the top prize money of $7,000 in the number 5 position. Bowling in the first match today, a 12-time PBA champion, Wayne Zahn of Tempe, Arizona. He will meet the tournament's 4th-ranked bowler, first time on television, 25-year-old Bill Spigner of Hamden, Connecticut. The winner of the first game will challenge the number 3 bowler, 28-year-old, 8-time PBA champion Barry Asher of Salvino, California. The winner of this match will challenge the number 2 man in the tournament, first time on the money, Fred Connor of Mar Vista, California. And the winner of that semifinal game will bowl for the championship against the tournament leader. He's 27 years old, looking for his first victory, Mickey Hyam of Kansas City, Missouri. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Schenkel, and I'm speaking to you from the approaches here where the competition will begin in just a few moments. We're happy to be back for the 14th consecutive year. ABC Sports spanning the United States, and this year, 16 different telecasts in as many weeks. So we're proud of our longevity of 14 consecutive years. Yes, bowling has its many traditions, and here in our telecast of the 12 of the 14 years, there is a big part of that tradition missing, with the untimely and sudden death of our colleague and friend, Billy Whaley, last spring. How do you describe Billy? Well, there's no better way to describe Billy Whaley than to say that he was big league in a multitude of ways. The champion out on the lanes, the big guy from Texas commanded as much attention and adoration when he wasn't bowling because he was affable, sharp-witted, and classy. And that's the way he was, and that's the way friends and fans, everybody, will remember him forever. And I truly think poet James Whitcomb Riley said it best. When one of his friends passed away, he said, he is not dead, he is just away. So, away we go now with our first telecast. And during the next 4 weeks, we're going to have 4 great bowling champions. We have the greatest of them all with us the first week, out of St. Louis, Missouri, 24 PBA titles, a Hall of Famer, and our friend, Dick Weber.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks very much for remembering our dear friend Billy Whaley, a great champion.
We have a couple of veterans going in the field today against 3 men that are just sort of getting started when it comes to television.
Yes, a very interesting situation, Chris. The 2 boys that you're talking about, the veterans, are Barry Asher and Wayne Zahn. They're already qualified for the $100,000 Firestone Tournament champions, but we have 3 boys that aren't. And it's really going to put the pressure on the old veterans, as I say it.
What are they faced on this pair today?
Well, first of all, they have to watch their speed, and second of all, they have to watch the amount of hook that they throw on the lanes. They can't throw too big of a hook, and yet they have to still put enough stuff on the ball to carry the pins up.
Okay, Richard, we look forward to your commentary.
Thank you.
All right. Once again, our tournament leader and the man to beat this afternoon is Mickey Hyam for $7,000 in this impressive trophy. Here in Alameda, California, we'll be back on the Pro Bowlers Tour.
The Firestone Forever battery comes with a guarantee unlike most other battery guarantees. It's so simple. It's printed right here. If the Firestone Forever battery ever fails to hold a charge in your car, Firestone will replace it free with proof of purchase, providing that the battery hasn't been damaged due to accident or abuse. Commercial use excluded. Now, that's a battery guarantee you can live with forever.
Is it true that Midas usually takes only 30 minutes or less to install a muffler?
Yeah.
And you have mufflers for over 1,700 different car models.
Yeah.
That's why your prices are high.
But they're not.
They're not.
At Midas, our prices make our customers happy and our competition a little sad.
How do we compete with these guys? I need time to think.
At Midas, we're specialists. We have to do a better job.
Once again, here's how the final matches are set in today's competition. In the first match, our fifth-ranked bowler, Wayne Zahn, will meet the fourth-ranked bowler in the tournament thus far, Bill Spigner. Now, the winner of this match will meet Barry Asher, who is in third place. If successful, he will meet the second-place bowler, Fred Connor. And the winner of this match will go for the championship against our tournament leader, Mickey Hyam. Remember, each competitor keeps advancing as long as he keeps his winning streak alive. So before a capacity crowd here at Mel's Bowl in Alameda, California, here comes the first stroke. In the blue shirt, 12-time PBA champion, Wayne Zahn. Dick, how do they determine who bowls first?
Well, the bowler that finishes in the higher spot has the right to pick the lane. In other words, in this case, Spigner would have the right to choose the lane he wants to start on or have Zahn start on. So he chose to have Zahn start the match on lane 29 and he will start on lane 30.
All right. Waiting for a reset on lane 29 here at Mel's Bowl. Wayne Zahn, 33 years old. I doubt if that will shake him up because he's seen that happen before in all the years of competition, Dick.
He's pretty much of a seasoned veteran for Chris. He won't let anything like this shake him up. He's reminiscing his basic fundamentals.
Ooh, and to be faced with such a thing right off.
This is the key shot today, Chris. I think that most of the bowlers are going to try to really give the ball an extreme amount of drift, but they want to dislike that ball slid too far. It didn't have enough churn on the end, enough grind on the end, as we call it, to knock out the 5-7.
Trying for the split. Oh, went all the way. But it gives him an open frame. Wayne Zahn and his competition today in this first game is 25-year-old bachelor Bill Spigner, who lives in Hamden, Connecticut. Let's watch the 170-pounder. Out of Bill Spigner, uptight because the lights, the pressure of trying to win the $7,000 first prize, and the fact that this is Bill's first television appearance. And like Fred Connor and Mickey Hyam, he'll be seeking his first PBA triumph. So can he double?
For the first time on TV, Chris, he's very cautious about setting his hand in the ball. You notice he wiped his thumb all out, was very careful about that. Which is unusual for a youngster getting on TV the first time.
And Bill Spigner has a double, and jumping off to a 22-pin lead. Now, pressure's on Wayne Zahn. And Dick, this is one thing about bowling, just from frame to frame, the pressure can change, can shift.
Yes, if you really don't concentrate on your basics, you really lost the game.
So Wayne Zahn still looking for his first strike, meeting Bill Spigner.
Here's the hit, Chris. See, the ball's sliding so much, it really never grabs the lane. And he was very lucky there to get out of the split, actually.
So going for the 4-7 now.
turns out, still marking with a spare, Wayne Zahn, who's trailing by 22 pins. Our statistician today, champion Ski Feremski.
Well, let's see if he makes the one correction on this particular lane, the way he left the 5-7 the first frame, Chris. He must move to the right a little bit and give a little more lift and slow the speed down. Just another fraction of an inch, and he might have had it, Chris. He's just still a little bit too fast with the ball. He's still a little bit too far inside with the ball. I'd like to caution our viewers, and when they have trouble on particular lanes like this, just move a board or two at a time to your right until you see that ball snap in a little bit, and that's what Wayne is really looking for at the particular time.
The 5-pin. Now you're looking at Bill Stigner. He has a double up with a 23-pin lead. He tries to make it 3 in a row, using about 3/4 of the approach, as he will be moving to the line in a moment. As usual, during our live ABC Sports telecast of the Professional Bowlers Tour, should a bowler string together 12 in a row or a perfect game, ABC will present him with a $10,000 check. That plus a Lincoln Mercury Cougar, and it was right here last year, Dick Weber, that Jim Stefanich did that very thing.
Isn't that sweet?
Stigner leading by 33, trying to make it a 4-bagger on the left lane. To go. All right, we'll return in a moment.
Winning. There's nothing like it. And in bowling, the pros are using the ball with more win in it. The Ebonite Gyro. Winningest ball at the 1973 Firestone Tournament of Champions. Back-to-back wins in 1974 for Johnny Gunther. 3 new world's records in the 74 ABC Classic. The Ebonite Gyro, a precision ball for the pros or you. Every gyro ball features the exclusive drilling guide to give you the right top weight and side weight for your kind of game.
Hits harder than any ball I've ever thrown before.
Rolls fantastically true. A great ball.
It's got a faster thumb release and totally new core and weight block.
Look for the Ebonite Gyros. Get the gyro ball your game deserves. Available wherever fine sporting goods are sold. See the totally new professional quality high-fashion bowling shoes and color-coordinated bags with exclusive Ebonite features. For the thrill of winning when you think bowling, it's Ebonite.
Here in the Professional Bowlers Tour, a look at positions 6 through 12 in this year's ARC Alameda Open. There they are. And we're in our very first game. And we have Bill Stigner going against Wayne Zahn. We're looking at Wayne now. He has 27 through the second with a spare up in the third, trailing by 43. Oh, a 10-pin for Wayne Zahn.
There's the adjustment he's been looking for, Chris. He feels that he's found it on lane 30. Now, his key thing is finding it on lane 29 so he can really get zeroed in because he can't afford too many more spares. He's got to start striking.
Wayne got into the 5-man final in the very last game last night. And he covers the 10-pin spare for Wayne Zahn. Had Ron Lisher made a strike, Wayne would have not been on television today.
And that was a close one, Chris. That was very interesting last night.
Ron is the alternate or the 6th man and picked up a sizable check for his efforts as we have Wayne now over in the left lane. 5th frame, first game. There it is. A quick screen replay of that last stroke, Dick Weber.
All right, Chris. Now, look, he's made his adjustment. He's made an adjustment just like he wanted to. He's extended well, got the ball to roll good, and look how the ball hits, hard and solid. That's what he's looking for all the way through.